Good afternoon. How is the day so far? Great. All right. Okay. What do you want to ask? Before we start this session, let me understand some of the expectations or questions you have. Start. Your time starts now. Next 2 years, you are going to ask questions. Maximum question you ask, you will able to have more doubts cleared. All right? Yes. First question takes time. Yeah. So I'm trying to check whether the questions you have, do I have a presentation on the same lines or not? Yeah? Otherwise you people will feel sleepy, isn't it?
Jain sir, my name
Jain.
is Ayush Tiwari and I want to ask you a question. When is the time to choose active listening and when it is time to choose pre-decided point in any phase of time for formal situations, or to choose both in this generation of workforce era?
Have you downloaded a question from AI?
No sir, I have just...
No, I'm just joking. Don't take it otherwise. So you're talking about active listening. When should you adopt the active listening? That's the question.
Yes sir.
Cool.
And pre-decided point.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Thank you sir.
We will have some address out of it, out of the slides. Yeah? Yes.
Jain sir, my name is Anuj Chokse. Sir, I would like to ask you, like, how should we shape our 2 years in this journey? What are the pointers that we should keep in our mind to gain the maximum learning we can take?
Sure, sure. We have that being covered. Yes. Yes, here comes the woman power now. Yeah.
Jain sir, my name is Karishma. Sir, my question is that how to get time for doing what we love, because this is very hectic, this is very much hectic for duration for me, this 2 year. So how to make time for doing the things that we love? Thank you sir.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else? Yeah.
Jain sir, my name is Sahil Amit Kankekar. So my question to you is, how do leaders maintain team morale during uncertainty or setbacks? Or which thing we can learn from them?
Okay. Leaders maintain morale while uncertainty. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Shall we start based on this, some of the questions we have, or any other questions which are left? Any very, yes. The PPT I am running from here, na?
Jain sir,
Yeah.
my name is Aritra Raj. Sir, apart from campus placements and apart from LinkedIn, how can we increase our networks in the field of networking so that corporate relations grow stronger?
Okay. Networking. Sure. Good. So let's start. Some of the slides I have here, you have a questions, we'll stop, post few slides once I run. Okay, and I'll take a questions, and at the end also we'll have a questions asked. Okay. So first and foremost, this suggestion, some of the words are here, some of the sentences are here. If you feel that I'm not able to get the meaning out of it, do stop and ask me. Okay. So first thing which you need to adopt as a model or framework is RISE. Reinvent. You know, today if you're starting your first or second day, the first thing which has happened to you is a change in your routines. You're feeling that? Okay. Given a choice, you wouldn't sit with all these ties and the way you're dressing up today. So there's a change management which you're going to face. You will have to reinvent yourself. Your life for next 2 years is going to change. All right? Also, I have been always saying this for a number of years. Whenever I am addressing the batches, I am saying this. What kind of a wealth you have with you, which you need to utilize? Tell me. Yes? Yes. What kind of a time you have with you? 365 into 2 into number of hours into number of minutes into number of seconds. If you invest well, what's going to happen? You're going to reap the benefit of return on investment. Sit down. If you don't invest it well, you know what's going to happen? So it's completely up to you. How do you create excellence for yourself? External factors will help you, enable you, right? So you have environment, your faculties, your various other initiatives which will help you. You know, they always say you can take horse to water, but that's the point which you need to also consider for yourself. One very important thing which is applied to today's world. You may be academically great, brilliant. Nobody doubts you have done a great job. What is importantly required in the industry is a creative thinking. Anybody who understands what is creative thinking? Yes?
My name is Sham Sabris. So creative thinking is thinking out of the box.
Thinking out of the box. All right, sit down. Thank you so much. How do we think out of the box? Picking up the alternatives which are, really having a solution into it. I'll give you opportunity also to speak. Somebody from there wants to speak, that's a great thing. Somebody here wants to speak? Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead, I can hear you.
Introspection, I was about.
Self-introspection, that would be one part of it. But one of the things is, let me quickly tell you a story. All right. There's a manager who tells, a bank manager who tells there is one box to be brought in from that side of the river to this side of the river. So person A starts working on it and manager gives him a budget of 10 rupees, says go bring it. So he goes, hires the, small ship, goes, comes back, spends 10 rupees. Now he tells B, do the same job. B says, I can do something better than this. All right. So he says, okay, let me think through what I can do. So he says, let's A and B go together. And instead of 10 rupees, we'll pay 12 rupees or 14 rupees and do the job. So overall 8 rupees or 7 rupees is the cost of the work which he has done. C says, I am a process-oriented guy, let me do the work on it. So draws the process and other things, takes 1 more days and does it by saving 1 more rupees. He is able to do it. But here comes D. This D is able to do that job in 2 rupees. How? He says, why should I go to the other side of the river? I will tell the boatman to bring the box and I'll pay him 2 rupees. Out of the box thinking is not looking at the constraints which are there, but looking beyond the constraints. You got it? We generally get stuck with the constraints which we have, no, like this, like that, how will I able to do it? Creative thinking, out of the box thinking will only come in only when you try and break the constraints and go out of your boundaries. That is where it is called as out of the box. All right? Step up. What you're going to have typically is a lot of areas where you need to jump into. Every day is going to be a new learning and you need to be ready for it. And that's something which has become very, very critical. Learning has become a daily routine these days, right? If you have to be passionate for your learning, if you're not able to write down what you've learned during the day, you're not progressing, all right? Very importantly, what is required? Keeping yourself motivated, energizing yourself, ensuring that you are able to understand what is success? How do you fuel your passion? So, there was a question here as to how do I take out the time for something which I want to do. All right? Always anybody who's a musician, anybody who is pursuing any of the hobby, they pull out the time. All right? And believe it or not, if you start doing a right time management, you will able to bring out the time for yourself, and we'll talk about it. How do we really bring out the time for ourselves, right? So we start with this. The world as a business world is going through a lot of challenges, right? All of us know very well, and there are some terms which are being given. We, in those who are in maybe following the businesses earlier, would know these words which are being used, known as VUCA, okay, earlier. Bani, all right? These are the words, kind of. It was saying, it was uncertain, complex, ambiguous, right? The similar way, some of the words like Bani, but it has changed currently. It says it's taken, the uncertainty and the process has taken much accelerated kind of a positions, and it's got into the area which is now known as RUPT, right? Which is rapid, unpredictable, paradoxical, tangled. How do you really get over it? So, the suggestion which has come in from a research is this, that you use flux, be fast, be liquid. Liquid means don't stop at any place. Flow, okay, don't wait, right? Uncharted. How many times you would like to get the things which are unknown to you? Going into the new places, going into trying something new is, trying to follow the uncharted path, right? And the next one is experiential. Today, this word has been used in human resource as well as in consumer experiences. How do you give the experience of what you're doing to the people whom you're supposed to reach? If you're talking to the faculty, how you're able to tell that something which you've understood. If you're talking as a marketing guy to your consumer, what the experiences are, you're able to capture it, right? So that is experiential. So in short, what I'm trying to say is the world is going through the challenges. All of us are aware, isn't it? Geopolitical situation, wars, other things which are happening, and these are the challenging times. But is the challenging time means that there is no opportunity? There are always opportunities, right? So there is nothing to feel that the things are not going right. And here are the biggest change in the world, all right? The change in the world, just give me a minute. The change in the world is the population and the demography of the world has changed. These slides will be with you, so you don't bother to kind of copy it, but please understand and internalize them. World population is 8.2 billion. India population is 18% of it. If you look at generations which we have, right? I have written there on the top, Gen Z, 29, age 14 to 29. I am sure all of those who are sitting here are Gen Zs. What is the year this college is enjoying currently? Gen Z. College is also Gen Z, you are all Gen Zs here, okay? Now in India, you have 377 million, that is 26% of our population are Gen Z, okay? This 377 million is equal to US population, which you guys are equal to US population. Next, if you look at millennials, which are age 30 to 45, are in India about 25%. We'll go to global next. Gen Alpha, which is less than age of 13, are 17%, and Gen X and baby boomers are roughly about 27-28% both together. That's how we are forming our generation. How do you think this is impacting the overall business and social scenario? Do you think there is an impact? How? What is the impact? Yes, go ahead.
I think their thinking pattern changes with different generations,
All right.
and there is generational gap, communication gap.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So decision making changes, and that being a reason I was just talking to Sir, Zudio brand is famous in last 4 years. Why? Would I go and buy in Zudio? I don't know. I'm just trying to say, so that's the change. Is that impacting us directly? If I'm pursuing a career in marketing, sales, it's going to impact me directly because my TG, target group, has changed. All right? Look at world. What has happened in the world? The Gen Alpha is more versus the rest of the gens. So it's about 24-25%. Gen Z is 23%. Millennials, Gen X, and then further, you would say baby boomers and silent generations are coming to roughly about 14% odd. The problems which you are global going to have versus India are different, and let me show that on the next slide. All right. So what's the change which India is going to have, and what is the change? Some of the lines I'll read out for you. For India, you would see the emerging market is going to be driven by Gen Z because they are the 26% of majority. Gen Alpha will join them over a period of time, and just wait for 5 more years. You're going to have Gen Alpha and Gen Z driving the whole of the economy, right? Coming to what are they needing typically? Globally, Gen Alpha is 2 billion. That's a big number, right? And what is required globally is different than India. Globally, what is needed is actually saving the knowledge which has been done by the previous generations. In India, millennials and Gen Z are going equally together, just few percent difference. So our problems are different than their problems. Who will use technology more? Globally, the technology will be used more because they would like to preserve the information which is required to Gen Alpha, right? So who is going to use AI more? Global countries as compared to India, right? You're getting my point? We are having people to handhold. There is going to be a gap. Somebody is 14 years, somebody is probably 40 years. Okay, so you'll have to save a lot of intelligence there, and that being the reason systems are very critical. And that's why they are saying global retirement wave. What's going to happen in India? With Gen X and baby boomers are getting out of the system, all right? Millennials and Gen Z are going to be promoted faster. Your acceleration of the career will be higher. The responsibilities on you are going to be much higher as compared to probably we have grown by a pace. You will grow 2x or 3x of the pace. So what is required? Accelerated learning, taking responsibility, understanding things, taking more challenges. Does that make sense? That's what it shows. Hyperspeed. Accordingly, you're going to have mobile-based working. Accordingly, you will have system-based working, digitization, and other things. All right? Whereas globally, probably digitization is going to take, and a knowledge restoring is going to take more and more, okay, kind of a technology and efforts. Make sense? This is our theme. So how do I prepare really? My minds. Somebody asked this question. How do we really prepare ourselves, Shep, in next 2 years? And here are some of the tips. And this is coming from the book of The Magic of Thinking Big by David Scott. He says, believe you can succeed and you will. Develop the power of belief. How many of us really feel, I don't have this background, that background, I'm weak in mathematics, I'm weak in this, weak in that, that's where I'm not able to do it. We have this something reserved in our mind. Get out of it. If you're not able to really think out of that, you will be haunting yourself and you will create the constraint. Build confidence and destroy fears. And I've been telling stories about this learning helplessness. All right? What is learning helplessness? 2 stories. One, there's a class which has been given, this side of the class and the other side of the class. They are supposed to rearrange the words. Okay? 3 words are given. 3 words here, 3 words there. The minute this exercise is given, this side of the class raises the hands within a friction. They do the job. First word. These ones are not able to do it. The second one, they raise the hand. Right? Now the third word, they raise the hand again. Here the detailing has been done later of this experiment. First 2 words which are given to them are much easier than what is being given to these people. Right? What these people started thinking, and incidentally, the third word is the same. But the minute you lost on first 2 words, your confidence is shaken. So what did you do? Didn't attempt the third word. Whereas these people got first 2 easy, got onto the third one. This is going to happen to all of us. But if we give up, when the third word which is common, you're going to lose there. Never ever do that. Another story. Okay? You all have seen elephant is tied with the rope. Alright? Elephant can break the rope and get out. Never does it. Why? In the young age, elephant has been tied, and in the young age, elephant tries to break that rope. Not able to do it. So the mindset, I will not able to do it. All of us have these syndromes. Please get out of it. Makes sense? Write down the point which you are fearful about and get out of it. That's something very, very important for us to understand, and that will make our next 2 years very good. Think big with a positive mind images. Okay, when you start thinking better, whatever you imagine comes true. The minute you imagine something not going to happen, it will not happen. Alright? Manage your environment to make you successful. If you go away with the people who are going to while away the time, you're going to have it. Alright? You go with the people who are really serious about what their goals are, probably you will be part of the same thing. Okay? Next, think positive towards people. Success depends on other people's support, not individually is able to do. They will able to make a difference, but you need the support from others. Okay? Next, get the action habit. One very important thing is you need to think about what habits you would like to develop to see that you are able to be successful. Everybody knows what are the habits they have to develop. Maybe, get up early, stretch something better, have better health, avoid particular foods because they are not going to be helpful to my health. I'm not saying do it because you are young, you will be able to do better things. But what I'm trying to say, look at your own habits. This is all your own, exercise which you need to do. Set your goals high and then exceed them. If you think big, you will be able to achieve. If you do not think big, you will be merely happy with whatever you get. Okay? Here are the quick ones, which these 8 points are further elaborated. Develop the power of belief. How do you do that? Spend 5 minutes every morning visualizing yourself successfully completing one of the biggest role. Write down, I can succeed 10 times daily to counteract I can't thoughts. Okay? Make yourself start feeling positive. Alright? Build confidence and destroy fear. Identify one thing I am afraid of, like a difficult task, and do it immediately. Try and pick it up and do it immediately. Whatever you are feeling fearful about, take it up, do it immediately. Alright? Third one, think big with positive mind image. Okay, replace this problem with this is an opportunity. Anything which comes to you as a problem, think, is this opportunity which I can really do it first time and make it happen for myself, for others, right? Go ahead next. Use big words like brilliant, excellent, wonderful instead of small ones. Okay, fine. Now these are all making your mind ready. Right? Ask yourself what kind of a person you are. Dress slightly better than occasions required to boost your own self-respect. Before any action, ask, would a successful person do this? So you're trying to get yourself into the zone and mindset of a successful person. Manage your environment. Spend less time with one who are negative influence and more time with one who's a go-getter. Completely declutter, okay, your workplace and create a right environment. Declutter, make it right. You're going to stay in the hostel, those who are going to stay. How do you keep your room? Because in the movies they show something different. The life is something different. All those who have seen Munna Bhai would have a different thought process, but that's not the way the life works, right? All right. Think positive towards people. Thank you note, great job. We don't do it because we are not habituated. We assume that, okay, he would have felt good, but you don't know. If I hear gossip, either change the subject or find something nice to say about the person. Don't be a transferer of gossips here and there. And this is all going to happen to you. That's what I'm saying next 2 years. These tips may sound to be very small, but they are very, very important. All right? Get the action habit. 30 seconds thinking of what you want to do and do it right away. Set a timer of 25 minutes. Work with zero distraction and project which you have been avoiding or the passion you would like to pursue. Somebody has talked about passion. Take 25 minutes in a day. Try and see that you are able to focus on your passion and make it happen. Set high goals. Write down stretch goals. All of you need to write your goals, right? And start looking at them on a daily basis. Bring them up from a big goal to a smaller goal where you are able to action daily. Let me tell you what do I mean by that. Let's say you want to be in a marketing. You want to be in HR. You want to be in supply chain, right? Whatever specialization you would like to take. Pick up one topic, right? Let's say HR picks up work-life balance as a topic. Marketing picks up digital marketing as a topic. For next 2 years, right? Every day you write down one trend which you are able to observe globally, locally. Possible? Possible? At the end of 200 days, how many trends you will have with you? 200 trends? You would be more wiser than others? Yeah? A simple thing. But it needs focus. It needs consistency. Alright? So this is how you can set your goals, which would be different and higher as compared to others. Now let's talk about your career. So far so good. You feel we are aligned? You're not getting bored? Yes? No? Alright. Okay. So, okay. How is the change which has happened? As I showed you the first slide, the changes. We were lucky enough to see the growth. We are lucky enough to see the consistency in the businesses. There's a huge disruptions we started happening. Geopolitical situations have changed. Everything has gone haywire. Okay, the shift has happened from know it all to learn it all, or rather learn it every day. You're going to have a lifelong curiosity with which you're going to work. Cognitive flexibility, okay? We have shifted. I'm able to, even today, I have been using, and you will find in my slides also a use of AI, which I've done. You see a lot of graphics which are coming out of AI, all right? So from a pager time, from a big 8-bit computer's time, to this we have seen. Why? Because we were ready to accept and learn the new things. You have much bigger challenges because we had changes step by step. Whereas the changes here are overnight. Today something is existing, tomorrow it won't, right? So there is a pace to a change, and that being a reason, you need to have a cognitive flexibility. Long-term perspective. Your career is going to be marathon. It's not going to be started now and going, though people say the career span is reduced, but it's going to be marathon. So don't decide these 2 years are going to decide your careers. First 2 years, first 1 year. No, it's a long career, and ensure that you look at the whole thing in a long-term perspective. Internal compass, core values, ethics are very critical. You are going to have a different environment around you, into the corporates, into the organization. It is very important that how do you keep yourself or your ethical values, upheld with you, right? Intellectual humility, wisdom of experience, balance, don't try and show off, all right? And many a times this happens in the classes with colleagues that you want to show off. There's always a learning, and I very clearly say whenever I interact with the folks who are younger than me, I learn. Because I get the point of views, which really gives me an idea of doing something better, all right? So ensure that every opportunity for you, you're able to learn out of it, you're able to work, and you're able to get something out of it. 2028 horizon, we are going to talk about it as we go to that slide. 30 years of my experience, I would say, AI revolution doesn't scare me because I feel this will come and go. We have seen this kind of things happening. Come and go means I'm not saying it will not be there. It will be there, but we know how to survive in that. How do we work in that, right? Going ahead, this is very, very important, okay? Last one I'll speak first and then I'll go to the previous one. The fall of linear career. Earlier you have heard your parents, probably, your uncles and others have worked for 30 years in the same company. We call it linear. Or step by step they are growing. That's not going to happen. Your career is going to be lattice career. It could be in 5 different ways. The marketing guy could be heading HR. HR guy could be heading marketing or supply chain. And let me tell you very recently what has happened. I was talking to one of my friend who works with one of the hospital group. And they have got invested by some other bigger group and so on and so forth. So he said, this new group which has invested in us said that all your folks who are working in the services should do supply chain diploma. I said, what do you mean by that? I am unable to understand. He says, today the hospitals are actually, what do they need is a supply chain. Now understand, what do? They treat the patient, right? So what do they need? Doctors, medicines, various apparatus, right kind of deliveries. He is converting the whole thing into supply chain delivery. Hospital services is supply chain delivery. Imagine, we never imagined this kind of things could happen, or people can imagine in this fashion. All right? Possible to do it. In fact, they have, kind of come up with this model. So if I do so-called, MBA in so-called healthcare, I need to also understand supply chain, right? So that's the change which has come in. Coming back to choosing to solve the problem. Somebody asked, what do we do by which we don't do something different, by which we don't depend on this placement and all this stuff. Each one of you is your own placement head, if you think so. Okay. Only question is, do you look at the problems to be solved by somebody else or you yourself? How many problems so far you have solved which are not your problems? Think about it. Your career is changing. There are very clear thing, and let me give you an example. Okay, while I was working in one of the B schools, tier 1 B schools, we went for the interview, right? 6 candidates had come for the interview, and the 6th one I still remember. When we were talking to him, I say, what problems you solved for yourself? He says, sir, our cafeteria is 3 kilometers away from our hostel. So we end up having projects, discussions, whatever. So we get delayed, right? So many a times the food in the cafeteria is over. All right. So I've developed an app which will tell me what is the stock of the food available in the cafeteria before I start, and what are the place from where I can order, where when I'm reaching the cafeteria I'm able to get the delivery of that food. Solving the problem yourself rather than complaining. I will always prefer that kind of person. So when I'm just talking to that person who has solved the problems within their vicinity, they'll able to solve much bigger problems for my organization, right? Or they will be having their own venture by solving the problems in the various areas like supply chain, fintech, sustainability and other areas. Yeah? So that's the answer. Start looking at problems as the opportunity to solve it by yourself. And people are saying, how do I do it? Okay. Let me give an example, those who would like to pursue finance, MBA in finance, right? I know the specialization will be chosen by you later, but perspective is this. How much of a financial planning you can do for one of your friends, relatives, uncles, aunts, whosoever. Please do it. Part of a supply chain. Look at where you can go and solve the problem of supply chain. Marketing. Why don't you set somebody up for giving some plan and make the things happen for them? HR. Give engagement ideas, implement, work on it. Possible? Solve the problem yourself and you will be feeling that you are placed yourself. You don't have to bother anyone else, right? Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. 4 things. Always have the mindset of work in progress. Don't feel that achieved, done. Even today I feel I have a lot to learn, and similar way everyone who has to run their career. Curiosity. This is where I said ask questions. Next 2 years are the years for making mistakes. Why? Nobody is going to penalize you for these mistakes. But post 2 years when you go to the workplace and make a mistake, what's going to happen? Problem, right? So curiosity should be used by you, okay, into various areas. Try and yourself find out new tools, work on them. Mental modes is typically ensuring that you have empathy, ethics practiced by you. You are going to have an environment which is going to be really helpful to you to develop yourself. Discipline of focus is very, very important. Here I have given some of the aspects here. Deep work means intention, concentration, digital mindfulness. Okay, you are going to have a lot of distractions, but how do you focus? That's going to be very, very critical, right? Ownership mentality. What do you understand by ownership? Ownership mentality. How does the ownership comes? Anybody? By? How do you take responsibility? Yeah, go ahead.
Relate ourselves to something we think that is
Right, right. Yes.
Jain sir, my name is Nilesh.
Thank you.
Being accountable to your actions.
Accountable to your action. Okay. Everybody has their smartphones with them or kept outside? Kept outside, okay. You possess specs of yours? Would you throw it down? No? Why? You own it, yeah? How many times we have this feeling that I own something? When I own something, I care for it. Okay? Would I throw my phone like this, smartphone? Please be seated. You want to say something? Would I throw my smartphone out?
no, sir.
Would I throw my bike? Why? I want to care for it. Possession, okay? I feel ownership means I feel social status. Do I feel the same for what I am doing is ownership. Do I feel same for my learning? Then I won't throw it out. Right? So ownership comes from a feeling that this is mine and I want to protect it, I want to grow it, I want to maintain it. Phone तो हम charge करते हैं ना? Keep it in the right way ना? Will not keep anywhere where it could be lost. Ownership is that. Okay, going ahead quickly. Now I'll go little faster pace. Okay, very important, and all of you have asked what are this next 2 years going to be, and this is some of the most important tips I would say for the next 2 years, right? Campus to corporate, how do you reduce the gap? Soft skills are new hard skills. Soft skills doesn't mean English only. It means you are able to tell somebody a complicated thing in the right way. We say if you're able to explain somebody a complicated code in what the outcomes are going to be in the right way, rather than giving a lot of jargons, is the right communication or the right soft skills. Okay? Empathy and other things are also. Emotional intelligence is a soft skill. Navigating ambiguity. Everybody is going to have ambiguous things coming up because the businesses are ambiguous, global scenario is ambiguous, and that being the reason every day is going to be a new day. You're not going to have SOPs, standard operating processes for it. You need to find your own way to do it. Power of mentorship. Ensure that. Get the mentoring. Anybody whom you feel you are able to kind of connect with and get the mentoring done, be a part of process mentoring, because that's very critical. Personal branding for the future leaders is very, very essential. Okay, everybody has a different DNA, right? Similar way, everybody has a different specialties. Please recognize them. Have your own personal brand, right? One word which has been used by everyone today is resilience. Failing is given. Bouncing back is your efforts. Failing is going to happen because the environment is such, right? Tech savviness is non-negotiable. Any areas which you're working on to tech savviness is a must. Without that, you can't really work it out. All right, and 8, networking with a purpose. Somebody asked about networking here. You need to do the networking with a purpose. I'm just having X number of connection doesn't make sense. Okay, and what it is, we'll just talk about. Quickly the points. Skill trap. You may be having a best of the academic scores, but what is required the most is learnability and problem solving. Okay? Problem solving and learnability is going to be counted in the corporate along with your scores. Outcome and output, very important. You may have an output but not the outcome. There are 3 things which I always talk about. Whenever I talk about the outcome, accurate, complete, and timely. All right? So that's important when you talk about the outcome. ROI. All of you know the term ROI, return on investment. The time spent with you for the interview versus am I going to select you or not? ROI. Right? Similar way, various other financial aspects with the ROI will come up. Here, you're going to have very structured thing talked by your faculties to you. Don't do this, this is not right, this is how the things may be sometimes. What will happen in corporate? Fire, shoot, finish. No time available. Okay? Be clear on that. Right? Individual versus team. Here you would like to shine out. During your some activities you want to be number 1. In corporate, I've been always telling this. It's a 400-meter relay race. When you pass on the baton every 100 meter. Who wins and who loses? Either all 4 win. That's corporate. Here, one baton, one guy could win. And that's the difference which you need to understand. Okay? Every semester, you're going to have some exam where you're going to say, I have cleared so much well. You know what's going to happen in corporate? Daily. One mistake and you failed. Right? I'm not scaring you. I'm telling you that that's the reality we are going through. right? People want fast, quick, accurate, complete, and timely at the same way. Okay, so your exam is going to be on a daily basis. As I said, active listening. Somebody asked this question, active listening here, I believe. Okay, understanding the intent behind client's request. So it is much deeper, okay, not just the words. Some of your client tells you that we are delaying this project by 3 months. Your active listening says, I need to ask some more questions to get the clarity, right? If your client tells you, I am shelving this project for 3 months, would you just listen, or would you also further ask any question? What kind of question? I don't want to answer you. I am your client. Why is never asked to a client? Can I ask why to the client? Sir, can I help you in anything by which it could start in the 4th month? Active listening should be able to give me the problem sense and how do I solve that problem. The same way, if I'm talking to somebody, I said, what will you give me? Instead of that, I say, this is what I have to offer to you. Active listening will help you to turn out to see where you can pitch in and help. Isn't it? Makes sense? Yeah? So that's a part of active listening. Okay? Coming to storytelling. Very important. Whatever you want to tell, if there's no story with it, it doesn't sell because everybody is telling you the same message. Which one is interesting? All of you see what? Stand-up comedies? Why? Fantastic storytelling, isn't it? That's what you slowly have to become that. If you're not able to engage your audience, right, you will not able to do the things which are needed. Earlier, production guy used to say, no, it's okay, I am behind the machine. No, everybody has to tell the stories. Conflict resolution without damaging long-term working relationship. I can say, I don't like you, this, that and all. Fine. But that's going to spoil your long-term relationship. See how you're able to better manage. Emotional quotient EQ is a big topic. But in short, what you need to know is how is your team, how is your relations socially, how is your self-regulation, how you're able to understand yourself is a emotional intelligence, right? Inclusion, diverse perspective, actively, and this is we are going to face. People are coming here with different locations, different backgrounds, different thought processes. You know, first thing what you do is, you know what, 1, 2, 3, 4, इनसे हमारा नहीं जमता है यार. Please don't do that. Because your corporate is going to have the similar thing. There will be a lot of people who will be coming from different background, different things and different ideas. Open your mind. Start accepting the people with the different views. And that's going to be a must and required thing. No SOP. So core mission, any organization's, institution's values are going to drive you. Okay? Don't wait for perfection. Right? Gather the data and make your decisions take the way forward. Risk assessment. Create a safety net while moving forward. You are going to face the risk. You are going to have issues. You are going to have problems. But don't wait. Risk is going to be always there. You need to actually work on it to see how you are able to move forward. Resourcefulness. Plan A is not sufficient. Plan B, C and D is also required now. Right? And you know what is happening? Our national education policy is also trying to do that by creating more than one skill into the person. Right? Going ahead, if you look at decisiveness, don't wait. Take a decision. Okay? Faster wrong decision can be corrected, but delayed wrong decision can never be corrected. Okay? And you people have taken decision to be here, so take next decisions. Value exchange. Okay? Own energy insightful to the mentor. This is mentorship. Have a great interaction with the mentor. Implement what is the advice. There are two people, and this is going to be helpful to you as you go into the corporate also. There would be a sponsor who will say, so-and-so person is doing well, and there would be a mentor who is interacting with you. You need to create two. mentor and sponsor, somebody who speaks right about you. Corporate, there's a humongous competition. And unless there's a spokesperson for you in the name of sponsorer, you will not be highlighted in the meetings where you're not there. Okay? So you need to be present where you're not present through a sponsor. Mentor will help you. How do you go there? Consistency. Very important. And here you need to be after mentors. I've been doing mentorship. That's where I'm telling you. We have been following certain principles and we feel that being a reason, it is beneficial to both the mentor and the mentee, both the sides. Okay, personal branding. We did talk about this, personal branding, and what is that for which people will able to come to you? Okay, that's your personal branding. You know, this is what I want to solve. Let me go to so and so person. Do we do that today also? Aapke friends mein you must be doing this. You have this issue. You know, I want to buy some in, women's, you want to buy some cosmetic. Whom should I ask? This is the friend. Personal branding. That is the way you create your personal branding, right? Very importantly, digital footprint. All of you are active on our social medias, various platforms. Your digital footprint is already created. You know about it? Yeah? Is it right, wrong? Do you know that? You know about it? How do you know about it? As a AI, and today the AI tools have come in, which finds your social profile. At the time of hiring, we do try and check up whether this person is opposing some political parties, would have opinions, or is rejecting 20 things out of 10 things, is always giving a negative comment on particular thing, is all being checked, and that's your digital footprint. Be aware of it. You're professionals, so when you're going to write about the certain things, behold, don't go overboard. Okay? Very important, very critical, and this has been tracked today, and that being the reason I'm telling you. You may be stand in the interviews and both of you are doing well, but somebody else has a better digital footprint than you. I don't want to risk with the person who is really harsh. I want to go with the person who is able to align with us and work with us. Be aware of it, right? Very important. Executive presence is typically how do you really be in the room, visible, and so on and so forth. Reliability index. Reliable person is the person who is consistently able to perform better. Okay? Thought leadership is why do you do what do you do and not just what do you do. Understand why you are doing certain things. If you're able to understand why you are doing certain things, you're really able to do that thing better. And quickly, a story here. The person is just going ahead and finds something being constructed. And there's a mason who is sitting, a brickman who is sitting. He says, what are you doing? He says, I'm daily wage earner. I'm making the bricks here to put it doing something. The second day he comes in, finds another brickman and says, what are you doing? He says, I'm constructing a wall. This is going to be a wall which will be constructed. Wonderful. Third day he comes in, another brickman. He says, what are you doing? He says, you know what? We are making this wall. This is going to be ending up as a big temple, and we are going to be busy here for next 1.5 years. What do you want to be? Decide. If you know why, your what is right. Right? So end results, end purpose needs to be very clear to you. Okay? Stress management, bouncing back. I'm going a little early. Adaptability. Change is going to be there. How best you can adapt is very important. Today morning or yesterday when you started your career, you have adapted to a change. Yeah, that's going to be a daily scenario. Okay? As you go ahead. I studied out of XLRI and they never used to give us a timetable for the second half of the day. We were once asked to submit a case study in the night, post the party, and we all went and submitted at maybe 2 o'clock in the night, because morning 8 o'clock it was supposed to be open, was told to us earlier. It never happened. They say it's going to be open only by the evening. And the schedule was given only till 2 o'clock, and then we got to know the schedule is there till 9:30 in the evening. Uncertainty is something which you need to be trained for. Energy management and community support. Ensure that you are able to support the community. I'm going a little faster now. Okay, these are the various things which I have talked about. Now talk about the future. Quickly, we have lesser time, so I'll go faster. I picked up from all this research organization, what do they talk about future? It's going to be technology everywhere. 10x increase in data volumes, right? Gen AI alone expects to be 15 trillion global economy. Gen AI, right? The whole of AI gamut is going to be really working very hugely, and especially in the global location. Because what we have seen in the first slide, there's a lot of requirement of filling in the gap between the generation which is going to grow yet and the generation which is retiring, right? That's the reason. Agentic AI, robotics, okay? Manufacturing companies, automation is projected 43% in manufacturing task by 2030. And you would find that happening. Again, I'm saying, don't say that your next door is going to happen. It's going to happen globally, but we as a India is an outsourcing provider to the world. What is the percentage of outsourcing IT business happens out of India? Any guess from your end? GCC is a new thing which is coming, but otherwise in IT services, एक percentage बोलो, your guess. 80% होता तो we would have been on the cloud. 58 to 59%, right? And that's a big number, very big number. Because offshoring always has its advantages and disadvantages. Okay, digital revolution. This is going to be hugely into healthcare with DNA and other areas being worked on too. But we should be aware of this because this is going to make a change in our life too. Environment is going to be very critical. So far we are not looking after it, but we are all going to have post-war syndromes. We're going to definitely have, what is the biggest asset in India according to you? What is the advantage? Is? Youth. Yeah, I'm talking more in terms of environment and energy. Youth is always advantage. Yes, please be seated. Thanks. Yes? Okay. Partly, yes. Very importantly, yes. Thank you. What? Resources. Okay, thank you. One of them let me give you an answer. Yeah. All right. This is what I'm looking out for. Sun. Do you think we get the sun everywhere in the world? No. In India it does. 42% of the energy which we are generating today is a solar energy, which is number 1 in the world. We achieved our target of few, megawatts, trillion megawatts, which was supposed to be achieved 3 years down the line. Okay? And that's biggest advantage we have. As it says, this is going to be a crisis. 35% for food, 40% for water, and 50% for energy is going to be requirement by 2030. And there's a gap of 40% envisaged in expectations of use of electricity and water for AI. If AI stands development at 100%, resources available in the terms of water and energy are available only to the extent of 60%. Okay? And these are going to be the challenges we all are going to face. Okay? Sustainability is going to be one of the topic, and people who are in finance, so are going to specialize in finances to look into green aspects and sustainability in a big way. Climate adoption and energy tech. Polycurrency is one more term which is coming up. People want to settle their foreign dues or buying based on their local currencies rather than only depending on dollar. That's what they are saying. Okay? And that's going to come in. Some of the things have started happening. India, Russia deals in oil are generally not with the dollars but with the local currencies. So on and so forth. You will find that one of the aspects which is going to happen is fintech boom with so-called blockchain and others coming in will take it to a 2 trillion. So those who are getting into fintech, focus on to technology too. Social Workforce transformation, I will rather read rather than first 2-3 things. One is skill gap is always going to be there because this is a continuous process. New technologies are coming, new skills are coming, and you're going to have the gap. Okay? Engagement percentage is going to go down because the generations are changing. They are not working for survival. They are working for more for their hobbies or passion. Okay? Last important, 92 million jobs will go away, but 170 new roles will emerge. And this is where I'm saying, why do we have to learn? Keep learning, because the new opportunities will come. If we are not aware of it, we'll just crib rather than trying new things. Quickly, this is the summary of it. But more important is, this is going to be the change. Okay? Bookkeeper to strategic AI overseer. Agentic AI, finance guys should know. Central bank digit currencies. Green finance, this is all finance areas you need to explore and work onto. And that's where I'm saying, what can you do is keep the track of all this which is happening in the world, and you will able to say that I am globally ready with my skills on this. Okay, hyper personalization, storytelling, automation, voice and visual search, search engine optimization. Okay, going ahead, neuromarketing, using AI analysis, subconscious consumer. Today you know that you are being heard by your phone. You get the, whatever you are chasing, whatever you are, kind of searching, you get the advertisement for that. That's what is going to happen. Neuromarketing is going to be further working on it. Supply chain, anti-fragile, digital twin will be used. Two options, plan A while I'm kind of supplying the goods, plan B is ready at the same time if it doesn't happen as a plan B because global conditions are bad. Last mile growth, and look at it what I'm saying. Urban, how much of India, according to you, is divided in urban and rural? Any guesses? 36% of India is urban. If it just becomes 44%, we are going to have a huge growth. And that's what is counted in GDP growth of economy of ours. Circular economy talks about typically ensuring that there is a recycle and reuse of anything which we are doing, and that's going to be a part of supply chain. IT business analyst will have to industrialize AI. Governance, cyber security, data, accuracy and democracy both are going to be critical. HR, predictive hiring. You need to be ready with your sources maybe 6 months in advance, right? You need to be ready with skill gaps. Ensure that mass skilling you are able to adapt and work on. Human AI collaboration, that's going to be very critical. Today's article also in Times of India talks about it, that you need to have human first, then AI. How do you make it happen? Healthcare, as I said, predictive operations, data is going to help big way. Precision of medicine, virtual ecosystem, VR, AR, virtual reality and augmented reality will be used. So that's typically what is important. Agentic AI and blockchain for finance. Ethical governance is very important. Marketing, generative AI and VR, emotional storytelling, supply chain, digital twins and robotics, resilience and circularity, cloud, cyber security, AI strategy, HR, predictive analytics, lifelong learning, healthcare, AI diagnostics, IoT and patient experience. Last two slides, okay. This is, you need to be ready with 2028 scenario, okay, and that's again a prediction. It could change because we are living in an uncertain world, okay. ESG is going to be very important, and that's what is environmental, social and governance in everything what we do. It has been said as a Gen Z, many Gen Zs are looking at the company's ESG policy and then they are joining. And that's what they are saying, you are not spoiling the environment of the country, and that's what they say. Circular economy is ensuring that you are able to have reuse of everything. There's one very important thing which is happening. Service is something, productization of services, or other way around, everything is converted as a service. How many of you would want to buy a car? Hardly, lesser numbers, because you have Uber, Ola available. Okay? If you want to, you're traveling overseas and outside your place, then otherwise locally you would like to more use and pay for the services you have used. And that's happening in various areas. Okay? Many people started really using the services and pay for it rather than possessing it. And that's bigger change which is coming up. Need to understand how, and anybody who's talking about startups and others, they will have to take these themes. Okay? Tech integration, AI, blockchain, this has never remained a topic for technology. It is for every domain. Okay? One very important thing, job loss. And let me tell you, when people are talking about job loss, and let me give you a very practical example. I happened to meet a guy who said, I'm about to lose a job or losing the job. He was working with one of the top IT company. He worked there for 10 years. And he said, I'm losing the job. Went into details, what are you doing? He says, I'm actually done something in finance and then I was overseas, then I came back. I'm telling you a real life story. Okay, about a month and a half back, I met this guy at one of our clients' place because he was a reference from somebody. He had come to check for the job. 10 years, what is he doing, you know? He's in that company where he does the access management. What is access management? Any new employee joins, he creates the accesses for them. Because that company is big, they have 45 different softwares they have to get the access to. So he does the access login for all of them, manages that, keeps the track of it. Those who are leaving, he is taking out the accesses for them. That is his job for last 10 years. AI replaces the job within no time. Now this job loss, whose actual blame it is? So please check out when you are doing your job, are you doing a job which is replaceable, or are you doing a job which has got an intelligence also into it, right? And that's what people, when they are talking about displacement of job, come on, say job displace ho rahe hai. Try and understand that. Okay, rise of co-pilot, new roles will always emerge. Try and look at the new roles which are emerging. Okay? Complementary role, high touch roles. And this is where I have heard in one of the conferences I was talking to sir. In US, when they have invented energy, electricity, all the people who are making candles, the whole industry stopped. So he said, this is ridiculous, you know, the whole industry has gone out of order. But 10 years down the line, they found that with the electricity coming in, these restaurants can be open in the night, nightlife would be available, and that become a huge industry. This is called as complementary industry. In those days, it took 10 years. Today, it might take 6 months. Keep watching, and that's what I'm saying. Keep your radar on as to what's happening around you. It'll give you a way out. Build your personal brand. You need to understand more than one. The challenge is you are supposed to ride on 3 horses, not one. So you've taken an admission here, you may do specialization in A, but you need to know B and C also. Okay? That's a bigger challenge you're going to have. Managing ambiguity, and 30 years is a marathon career you're going to have. So don't get dismayed by first job. And that's our last slide. Pursue your vision. If you do not innovate yourself and the environment around you, you will be wherever you are. Okay? Then innovate, aim higher, ignite, spark the creative thinking, transform, change your horizon. Don't get stuck. We've talked about elephant story. Don't get stuck with anything. Okay? Inspire with the ideas, new ideas. Solve the problems around you. Don't crib about the problem. You know, somebody else is supposed to solve the problem. Can I solve the problem? Can I take that initiative? Step up for your own growth. Start tracking your own growth every day, and it will help you. Learn empowerment. Empowerment comes to you. That means you're being made accountable for something only when you take the ownership. Okay? Create an impact. Internship is going to be one more thing which you're going to get. Either you do the internship to clear the backlog, or you really create an impact. You need to decide what needs to be done. Energize, okay? Align your specialization. And I have said that any specialization you want to do, start working from it today. 200 days, you'll be master in it. You will able to tell somebody else what is the differentiator you're creating. Chart your path, take ownership, navigate the success. Emotional intelligence, resilience are the important part of it. All right? Any questions? Can we run this video quickly? ये कर दो. It won't run if you get out of the presentation, then it will run. Just 3 minutes we'll have.
ये मशीन क्यों रुकी है सर? बोलो, गोलू को पता होगा। प्रोडक्शन रिपोर्ट कहाँ है सर?
Have I answered active listening? How do you shape 2 years?
Don't just work harder, they live differently. They choose habits, mindsets, and behaviors that set them apart. They're not perfect, but they're intentional. Here are 19 traits shared by the most fulfilled, most productive, most impactful, and most successful people I've ever worked with in both basketball and business. 1. Emotional regulation. They don't let feelings drive behavior. Emotions are signals, not steering wheels. 2. Short-term urgency. They attack the day. No procrastination, no aimless wandering. 3. Long-term patience. They know real results, whether in fitness, finances, relationships, or business, take time. 4. Intentionality. Every action has a purpose. Nothing is random. They don't go through the motions. 5. Clear North Star. They know who they're striving to become, and they know what they're striving to accomplish. 6. Non-negotiables. Boundaries are rooted in values. They don't flex on what matters most. 7. Presence. Learn from the past, plan for the future, but live in the now. 8. Acceptance. They accept what is and don't try to fight reality, even when what is isn't their preference. They focus solely on their response. 9. Discomfort tolerance. Growth isn't always comfortable. In fact, it rarely is, but they lean in anyway. 10. Self-awareness. They know their strengths, they know they have blind spots, and they're honest about both. 11. Habit builders. They don't chase perfection, they chase progress, one habit at a time. 12. Coachability. Feedback isn't a threat, it's a gift. They stay open to growth. 13. Process-oriented. Outcomes matter, but process is everything. Detachment from results is a real superpower. 14. Adaptability. They pivot with poise, recalibrate, rebuild, repeat. 15. Resilience. When it gets hard, they keep going. Grit lives here. 16. Extreme ownership. No blame, no excuses, full responsibility. 17. Consistency. They show up, even when it's not easy, fun, or convenient. 18. Lifelong learning. Curiosity over complacency. Always growing, always evolving. 19. Sense of humor. They take the work seriously, but not themselves. Levity is a part of the grind.
All right. Okay, so that's where PPT mode. I'm January. Last slide you can go to. You can do it yourself, no problem. Any questions? Feeling sleepy, hungry? Was this time spent beneficial? Yes. Very good. Anybody, 1 or 2 points which you noted down? Any points which you noted down? Anybody would like to share? Yes, go ahead.
Sir, my name is Kushi Sir, you shared about business
Yes.
There was a point in PPT where there was a rub, how you can solve it with flux. That is, now the market is rapid, unpredictable, paradoxical and tangled, and we can solve it by being fast, liquid, uncharted and exponential. So now the new operating system for leadership is flux, and that's all.
Thank you. Anyone else, any takeaway? Any changes you would like to do for next 30 days for you? Any new habit you would like to pick up?
Jain sir.
Yeah.
My name is Yogesh. And sir, the best line I have noted down right now is action cures fears. I have a fear of speaking in front of a lot of people. And this is my day one. When from now onwards, I will not hesitate to speak.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a clap for him, please? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sir, thank you to give me this line. Action cures fear. I really love that and I will follow that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Jain sir, I am Karishma. Sir, what I learned from today's session was that take ownership of all the problems that you are surrounded with. Always enjoy and always be cheerful every time and be consistent, be disciplined. So this will ultimately lead to success.
Thank you. Yes. We'll take last one. Okay. One more. Yeah. Let her go ahead. Then you come. Yeah.
Jai Hind sir, myself Anjali Gabriel. You told that we should write that what you like, what you are fearful of most about. So I think that I'll write every day and I'll keep it in my mind so that the fears don't overcome me and then I will overcome them in my this 2 years journey. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Jain sir, my name is Ash Tiwari, and one thing you have mentioned that ride 3 horses, try to ride 3 horses rather than one.
Absolutely.
That's all.
So you need to be multi-skilled rather than only focusing on one. Has to be master, but 2 more you should know because the changes are so rapid. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. And your transformation starts from now. Okay. Thank you.